Hi! Welcome back. Today you're making Filipino Silog breakfast. This is Module 9, rice and starches. These are the ingredients that you will need to make your breakfast silog. Feel free to mix and match the ingredients and make your own combinations for your silog breakfast. Filipino silog breakfast, the most important thing that you need to remember, you need rice, you need ulam or a viand, and you need some eggs. First, measure raw rice using a rice cup. If you don't have this, you can use a regular measuring cup. I am measuring 3 cups. Okay, so I have used the rice cup. I just transferred it into my measuring cup. Next, wash the rice. This is the most important step. You need to wash the rice at least 3 times to make sure that the water comes out clean or clear. The water can be used to make soups if you want it to become starchy, but always throw or use the first washing as fertilizer or something for plants instead of eating it. So the second and third washing, you can boil it and make it into soup, or you can make it into to feed the baby. Next, measure the water that you will need. The ratio for cooking rice is usually 1:1.5. It usually depends on your kind of rice. So here in the Philippines, we use sinandomeng or dinarado. The ratio is 1:1.5. If the grain is shorter, like your Japanese rice, you would need less water. If your rice is like long grain rice, you need more water. Using a rice cooker, make sure that the bottom of the bowl is very dry, so wipe it clean before you put it inside the heating element. And then don't forget to turn on your rice cooker. Once the heating element automatically springs up and the color, the light changes from cooking to warming, your rice is already good to go. If you are going to make fried rice or garlic rice, you will need some cold rice. Cold rice is just rice that were not finished from yesterday's meal, so they came from the refrigerator. They were leftovers. First, you need to add salt. Heavily salt your rice and mash it together. Make sure that it gets mixed up together. We need to do this at the beginning so that it can release moisture from the rice and so that your rice won't be very hard. Cold rice has the tendency to become hard. Next, put 2 tablespoons of oil. Cold start with your garlic. Cold start will allow the garlic flavor to infuse into the oil and mix together with your rice. Saute this until you get a golden color and until it becomes very, very fragrant. For 3 cups of raw rice, I've used half a bulb of garlic. Once it is already toasted, you can remove half of it into a separate container so that you can use it as garnish, and then feel free to add in your rice. Saute this until it is smoking and fragrant. You will need to make sure that your rice heats up well and absorbs the garlic infused oil. Once you are done, you will see that the rice will slightly brownish or yellowish in color because of the color of the garlic. As your ulam for breakfast, usually you're in a hurry. You can use canned goods or you can use a frozen preserved meat. And in order to elevate this dish and make it a little bit more healthier, make sure to use aromatics. Here I am using onions. I cold started the onions in a little bit of oil, and I am sauteing sliced Hungarian sausages. Feel free to mix and match in whatever viand that you can find. Leftovers are also allowable as breakfast viands. Once done, set it aside. Here I'm going to show you how to elevate a regular, otherwise a regular canned good. This is canned corned beef. Again, we start with our aromatics. Cold start the onions. And next, we have our potatoes. The potatoes are cut into brunoise, peeled and cut into brunoise. If you notice, I have submerged the potatoes in water while it was waiting for me to use them. This is to avoid the browning of the potatoes while it's waiting for it to be used. Once your potatoes have been well sauteed, add in your corned beef and mix it up all together. Canned goods are usually salted and seasoned already, so there is no need for you to add any salt and pepper. Just mix it under the heat. You have two options for canned corned beef. Either you want it to be a little saucy, so you can add a little bit of water to produce some sauce, or you want it dry, so you have to saute until all the liquid has evaporated. Alright, and once you are done, you can now pair your viand with your rice and your eggs. To know more about how to create your eggs, check out the other videos that we have discussed so far. Okay, so plate your breakfast dish, so you can use a bowl to shape the rice into a nice sphere, semicircle. Put a little bit of the viand around it or on its side and top it with eggs and serve it with fresh tomatoes. This is a typical Filipino Silog breakfast. So another option, instead of using white plain rice, we're using the garlic rice right now. And we're going to put it on a plate, shape it, and put our viand around it. Put our egg on the side, put slices of tomatoes as well, and top the rice with our toasted garlic for an extra aroma and extra presentation point. And there you have our breakfast silog meals. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe and you try it yourself. Bye!